Welcome back, everyone. Firstly, I want to use this opportunity to thank every single person for the time, for the opportunity. I want to firstly thank every single listeners that have been listening to my podcast show, every single people who have been putting their interest to be a part of the show, and also most especially my guests. From the bottom of my heart, I want to honestly thank every single one of my guests who have tried their best to sacrifice themselves and dedicate themselves to be a part and also support me in one way or the other. You all are the reason this is happening. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to honestly thank every single guest that have come to my show and also try to bring that insight and also support me in one way or the other. Firstly, I am going to start to introduce myself as the podcast host. I will also give the details of what my podcast show is all about. After giving the details of what my podcast show is all about, then I'll branch to five good episodes that I think you guys can try to check out on my podcast show that will help you guys in one way or the other. Lastly, if you have any questions or if there's anything bothering you regarding how I as the podcast host or also the podcast show as a whole, I am all to answer. Whether it's live currently now when you want to ask the question, or if it's anytime you feel like you have any question, you can slide to my DM anytime and bring out the question you have that could be bothering you. It is 100% complete. It means a lot to me. If there's anything bothering you regarding my podcast or I as a person, I am ready to answer anytime. My name is Temitope Adegoke, and I am the podcast host of the School of Heritage. The School of Heritage is a self help and a self improvement podcast show dedicated to impact people's life. The podcast shows entails several guests around the world that lasts of each episode that lasts for 20 to 30 minutes. Each episode drives on a topic that will help you improve your life. Whether you are a social worker, you're a counselor, a professor, a coach, a therapist, it is a platform whereby every single person have come to the idea every single episode regarding a topic that will help every single one of us life. I have been impacted by the School of Heritage as a podcast host. I also want every single one to me right now to be impacted. And that is why I'm bringing out the sense of dialogue. And that is why I am bringing out the sense of conversation to you guys to let you guys understand. And I also want to, from the bottom of my heart, encourage every single one of you to check out the podcast show, The School of Heritage. Check out the guests that I've had. Listen to several one of it. Each of the episode drives with a topic that will definitely 100% improve your life in one way or the other. The podcast show has been something that I've been doing to help every single one of people in the world because the world that we are living currently now is really, really damaged. And what one can do is to force in that positivity and that energy. And the only way I can continue is you guys to come in and listen to the podcast show so that you guys can also be a part of being improved or being impacted in one way or the other. So, from the bottom of my heart, I plead and encourage you to check on the podcast show to be impacted by the guests that I've had there and also grow the way we are also growing and also improve your life and learn new things regarding the podcast show, The School of Heritage. I am going to bring out five good episodes regarding the podcast show that I want to talk about today for you guys to also get more insights regarding the episode, regarding the guests, and regarding what it entails. The first episode I want to talk about deals with Mrs. Ricky. Mrs. Ricky is an elderly woman. She's a woman who has hustled, and that is the beauty of being hustling. When one is dedicated and one knows what he or she is doing in his early age, it goes on and on. We do know that some people do not really succeed to the old age, but most of the time, when one gets to the old age, one enjoy what he or she has done when he or she is young. And that is the beauty of the life we have. Mrs. Ricky have hustled and she's now an elderly woman who is enjoying what she have worked for. So, as a person who has done a lot of things and who have tried our best to be more impacted and also done a lot of beautiful things in her life, she decided to say, okay, how can I give back to the community? And that is why I'm opportune to have Mrs. Ricky on my podcast show. She drive to the area of pain. And what she made us understand is that we humans, we have to know where we belong as humans, because sometimes belong to some society and that is not where we are meant to be. She dedicates herself as a person who was in some areas, some churches and stuff like that, but it was not just working for her. Then she had to change the trajectory, she had to change where she goes, she had to change the community she finds herself, and everything in her life changes. I, as a person, I'm also an example of this. During the time I had a very, very big struggle in my life, I got to a point where I knew that this does not work for me. And I changed the community, I changed the surrounding, I changed everything, and I dedicate myself to something that I know I'm connected to, which is God. And it's 100% helped me in a very, very powerful and huge way. And that is what Mrs. Ricky talked about. She talked about the generational pain. She talked about the necessity on how we can heal from this pain, how we can try our best to check on ourselves. And it always starts from we, the people. We, the people, are the first healing. When we start to discover who we are, what we entail, how powerful we are, then we can now try our best to see how we can know where we actually belong as a person who doesn't do terrible things, who loves to be with positive minded people, who loves to show some kind of love, care, look for community that they see and they value love, they value kindness. And if you're also otherwise, you go for the otherwise. Just know yourself, understand who you are, and know where you can connect to, and know the community you can find yourself to join yourself together to bring out something productive. That is what Mrs. Ricky drive to. If you want to know more regarding that, Mrs. Ricky brought a lot of details regarding that when it comes to generational pain, because majority of the pain we have today most of the time comes from our parents, our grandparents. And if we can know how we can heal this pain as humans, I think we will really thrive in a very, very powerful way. So the name of the episode is Breaking the Pattern. Breaking the Pattern, column space, healing the unseen chains of generational pain. Healing the unseen pains of generational pain. So, if you want to learn more regarding inherited pain, how you can navigate your pain, and how to know where you actually belong in some kind of communities, is a very, very powerful and inspiring topic you can learn from Mrs. Ricky. I also have a person called Mr. Nathan. Yeah, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan. Mr. Nathan is a man who was in during his forefathers' time, they were brought from the Soviet Union. And Mr. Nathan has learned something when it comes to conversation. As we humans, conversation, dialogue is powerful. As a podcast host, I can 100% let you guys know that if you guys know how to communicate and how to show some sense of dialogue with people or with one another, you will definitely go far. And that is what Mr. Nathan dived to: negotiation, dialogue, communication. In this life that we are, we have to know when we need to talk, most especially the social media that we have today has really, really tampered. It has pressured a lot of things in us. And that is why we need to understand as humans that we need to know how we can communicate with people. We have to know how we can see people, love people, and understand them for who they are. And what does it start from? It starts from respect. Respect is one of the most important things we need to understand as humans, because if we as humans do not respect ourselves, or we do not respect the other background, it will be difficult for us to accept what he or she wants to bring to the table, because we are in a position whereby we are stiff. It must be this, it must be that. But if we want to create some sense of dialogue and grow and have some sense of communication that will be more productive, We have to respect no matter the culture, no matter the background. We have to try our best to embrace, respect, and see how one another can work together to bring out something productive. Mr. Nathan dived to the point of how powerful dialogue, communication, negotiation is. And he said some specific ways we can try our best as humans to know how we can fix ourselves and help ourselves regarding negotiation, and how we can help ourselves to bring a productive dialogue. What are the small habits I can entail? What are the small character I can build to have some sense of dialogue towards people? And that is what Mr. Nathan drive to. He dive to the step you need to take, what you need to do, and how you can try your best to know when to speak and not to speak, so that you can have a conversation that will bring out productivity and will be successful in a very, very huge way. If you want to learn more regarding negotiation, conversation, dialogue, and also Mr. Nathan as a person himself, I 100% recommend this episode in the School of Heritage. You will definitely learn something from it. It is just a 20 minutes conversation, but you will learn something very, very, very powerful from Mr. Nathan. And the name of the episode is Speak to Connect, comma, not to convince. Speak to connect, comma, not to convince. Then column space, the secrets to productive dialogue. The secrets to productive dialogue. So it's a very, very beautiful episode. The next episode I want to talk about is from Mrs. Deborah. Mrs. Deborah, she's an elderly person too, and those are the people who knows the value of empathy, kindness, love. They really know the value as elderly people. And she dived to a point whereby we need to understand as we as humans that we can be our own healer. We can be our own strength. And that is what Mr. Deborah drive to. If you listen to the episode with me and Mrs. Deborah, you should take some practice she brought in, because when we were having the conversation, she gave a very, very productive practice that you and I can do. She did it. If you listen to the episode, you understand what I'm talking about. But Mrs. Deborah spoke about the area whereby you can heal yourself, because whether we like it or not, we will lose a loved ones. And it's just the beauty, because even I as a guy, I've lost a very someone that is very close to me, which I know I really, really love. And grief is not easy. It's tough. And every single one of us, we face grief, we face loss. How are we going to navigate it? How are we going to be free from it? We do not need to hold this person in our chest. It will never work. But if we can have this sense of release, 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 cry, 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 release, then embrace the positive energy of such person, embrace the big energy of such person, embrace the glory, embrace the everything about that person. You're just bringing it in. It is very, very powerful. And that is what we need to know. We need to know how we can have this sense of dialogue through ourselves. Sometimes we are spiritual beings. Sometimes you and I, we agree. Sometimes we are spiritual beings. Sometimes the way we react, the way we do things, it's like you're connecting to something you can't see. It's like you're connecting to something you can't feel. It's like you are listening to something you can't feel. And that is the power of we as humans. But before we can have such type of things around us, we have to know how to release. We need to release energy, which in my own country we used to call it bad energy. Release those energy. Release it. Let it go. Those are bad energy. You do not need it. When you release those energy, then you bring in the new ones. Those positive ones are now the one you will use to navigate. You will use to bring out blessings. Mrs. Deborah gave that practice in my conversation with her. It was about 25 to 30 minutes. And you will love the discussion I have with Mr. Deborah, because how can we connect positively with our loved ones who have passed away a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years ago. How can we do that? Cry will never bring them back. Thinking, having thinking will never bring them back. But what you can do is to have the sense of their feelings. And that is where Mrs. Deborah dived to. I 100% recommend it if you want to know regarding how you can connect, just as a spiritual being to your loved ones who have passed away a long time ago. It is a very, very beautiful episode you will enjoy and you will learn from. 100% you will learn from Mrs. Deborah. And the podcast of the School of Heritage, the name of the episode is The Spirit World Speaks. The Spirit World Speaks, column, space. What we learn from communicating with departed loved ones. What we learn from communicating with departed loved ones. The other guest I want to talk about is Mr. Dale. Mr. Dale is a very, very intelligent man. He's one of the most intelligent person I believe I've had on my podcast show. You will love the discussion we had. In our world today, hmm, in our world today, hmm, we have to understand something. We need to create a community, a surrounding that will be of a blessings to our next generations. We need to create a surrounding that will not be a curse on the next generations. And that is where Mr. Dale dive to nature. In our surrounding today, climate is changing drastically. I can't believe it. Even in my country, it's huge. And I remember when I was very young, I knew what used to happen. I knew there will rain, sometimes even snow comes down in my country sometimes during that time, and it has changed. And that is what we need to understand as we humans. We should try our best to know how we can take care of our nature. I know technology has done a lot. Technology has taken a lot from us. It has taken kindness, love, community. It has taken a lot. But we need to respect nature. Nature is the master of all. If we can respect nature and we can create and build a surrounding that will benefit our next generation, they will pray for us. If not, they will not pray for us. They will see what our daddies have done to us. They did this and we are the ones suffering for it. We do not want to let our next generation suffer for what we are doing today. And that is why we need to bring something called nature based solutions. Nature based solution. How can we take care of our surrounding? How can we take care of nature? How can we make nature to be proud of us? How can we make sure nature will not be upset with us? These are what Mr. Dale spoke about. He spoke about the young generation because the young generations are the future of tomorrow. And anything an elderly persons know, he wants to pass it on to the next generation so that they will be able to improve and know how they can make it better. And that is why Mr. Dale really drive to it. He spoke really beautifully regarding that perspective when it comes to nature and how we can take care of it. Also, we as individuals, we can also do our best as individuals. And that is where he spoke about in this episode. As I said, he is a very, very intelligent man. And you are going to love what he brought to the table. It's just a 30 minutes conversation. You will love it. And you will learn when it comes to the schools, when it comes to organizations, when it comes to we the people, and when it comes to our future if we take care of this nature. And the name of the episode is Greening the Planet. Greening the Planet, comma, healing the people, column, space, The dual power of nature based solution. The dual power of nature based solutions. Lastly, I want to speak about a very, very retired man. He retired in, I think, in the CIA or secrets area or something like that in the United States. And leadership is not hard. But when it comes to leadership, there are some certain things we need to understand. And Mr. Mike learned a lot when it comes to empathy, love, care. Ah, you guys don't know what we are missing. In fact, even in my country, well, in every it is an pandemic, it's a pandemic, and we need to know how we can use that as leaders. If you want to be an aspiring leader or you want to be a leader for tomorrow, I encourage you from the bottom of my heart, learn to be a person that shows empathy. Learn to be a person that shows love, because I will let you guys understand. We all do not know what each people are facing. And that is what people do not understand. I do not know what many people I'm meeting today are facing. Let us just be kind. And as leaders or as an aspiring leader, we have to have the sense of empathy. Mr. Mike, he even personally said it in the conversation that he has a bit of regret. That I didn't mean he can go back. He will be a man whereby, in fact, that empathy will be there. And that is what I want you guys to understand. Empathy, love, kindness as a leader is powerful because, as a leader, sometimes when we see a worker and we say, Cynthia, I'm just making an example. Cynthia, what happened? Why are you like this? You are not always like this. Come, talk to me. Do you believe that that little thing means thousands, hundreds of thousand things to such person? That is how powerful empathy, love is. And Mr. Mike, as a leader, want to make people who are coming tomorrow, who will lead tomorrow, to know these things. Because those are the things he wished personally when he was in power or when he was in those positions he had. And that is why I had the opportunity to have him as a person. So please and please, I am pleading. It's not that I am just trying to, but I am 100% pleading because life is tough for me. It's not easy. So I'm pleading. It is the episode you will 100% learn from Mr. Mike when it comes to leadership and how you can show the kind of empathy, kindness, and love, no matter the background you find yourself. The name of the episode is Empathy Isn't Optional. Empathy isn't optional. The brain science behind truly great leadership. The brain science behind truly great leadership. So it is a very beautiful episode. From the bottom of my heart, it is 100% beautiful. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every single person who have been listening, guests who have given that sacrifice to be a part of the show. It means a lot to me. I never believed it to be like this, but it means a lot to me. And I want to thank every single one of you for that. Also, if you have any question or anything bothering or anything you want to bring to the table, live, not live, anytime, bring it up. You can tell me anything that you know that, just talk, tell me you don't do what you did here, I don't like it. Tell me what you did here, I love it. Tell me I'll love this thing. Tell me I'll love to be a guest. All those things. I am 100% open. I am open heaven. I am there to show you guys that I am here to just serve. Because what is the point? I am going to die one day. And it's just the little I know I can do, I am doing. The only thing I need is you guys to show that kind of empathy and listen to the episode and also share it and also speak to people about it. That is the only thing I need. And that is, if that can happen, then why not? The world will be in a better place. The world will be more beautiful because I'm not doing something that is, condemning or criticizing. I'm doing something that is improving people's lives. So I'm safe. I've done my part. Now is you guys to show me the kind of strength and love. And I also want to honestly thank every single person for showing that kind of time and energy. I also want to use this opportunity to let you guys know, please listen to the School of Heritage. Listen to the School of Heritage. Listen to the School of Heritage. That is all I am asking. Thank you very much. See you soon. Stay blessed. And lastly, see you next Sunday. Bye bye.